Okay, so let's talk about putting on pants when you're dealing with sciatica pain and low back pain, especially when you are what we call flexion intolerant. If you are bending over, trying to step your leg in, that's where things start to become problematic because every time you round forward, you're going to have a reproduction of your low back pain or sciatica. Now, I wanted to be reassuring you that there's going to be a point in time where you will actually be able to go back to your old ways, but when you're in active state of pain, we need to make some changes. So I have two very easy to follow methods. And the number one is going to be what I like to call the step in method. And so what that is you take your pants, I have sweatpants here, and I'm actually going to be simply putting that on the ground. And I'm going to be stepping in, trying to make it so that I can actually get 1 foot into each portion of the pant leg. Now it doesn't have to be completely perfect. And as long as you get 1 foot in each separate pant leg. Now I'm going to go ahead and rotate myself 9 degrees so you can take a look, but what you'll do is you step your feet in and then you're going to pursue to the next route. From here, it's really easy for you to round forward like this. This is probably what you've been used to doing. So what you can do instead is you are going to bend, you are going to push your hips back and hinge and drive your hip back. And as a result, you can take your hand and then shimmy one leg first. And then from there, you'll shimmy on over to the opposite side. Now, as you can see, I'm driving my hip back. I'm actually putting weight into my hamstring, which would allow me to actually stabilize my hips. And my back actually doesn't really change much more of a shape. Now, if this is starting to get really tight, you can actually sit your hips down and actually make it so that your hamstrings are a little bit more on slack. But when that actually allows you to ensure that you are not rounding at the lumbar spine. So once you're here, you're hanging out in your hamstrings using your hips. From here, you are going to simply grab your pants and you're going to do a simple deadlift. You're using the hamstrings, standing back up, and then putting the pants back on, right? Very important to be able to use your hips. Now, that's option number one. Now, to take it off, you just do the exact opposite, or you do what I just did, we just push them down and they're able to slide off your legs. The next option is going to be the step into one at a time. Now, this is going to be a little bit more challenging. You're going to have a little bit more single leg balance, but that's okay if you have the capacity. And what you're going to do is you're going to have your pants in front of you. And when you take a step up with one leg, you're also going to be focusing on hinging forward. So the way you're hinging forward, chest goes forward, hips go back. It allows you to actually step on through, still ensuring that you're creating this straight line in your back using your hip as the axis of rotation. From here, cinch it up on one leg, same deal, push the hip back, lift, so you're actually allowing yourself to have a little bit more flexion of the hip, and you can take it off any which way you like, but the premise is actually in fact using your hip and hinging, which allows you to protect your back throughout the process.